Hello, how are you today? I'm the Empress, Ronique Renez Ray, to many, um, and to a few, Marcia Almighty Gates. I am here today to give you some information. As I said on my last video, I have a interview to become a speaker. I am a speaker. Well, let me say it the right way. I have an interview, a free interview. When I say free, I mean a volunteer. I'm being a volunteer to be a speaker. You have to start somewhere. Remember that. Now, I'm much more prepared. I'm preparing for this as if I'm getting paid because you have to prepare for things for your future. Okay, I'm saying this to say what's next. Well, I'm going to give you some of my views, my points that I will be making when I go to speak, my keynote. As a keynote speaker, we have to rehearse, and they say write down your speech. But I have a disability. I have three things against me. One is I can't read very much more, so I wouldn't be able to write down the things I want to. I wouldn't be able to recite the things I write down. So that's one thing against me. And then the major thing around me, if I wanted to write these things down and learn how to speak and learn how to write, well, my right hand is distracted because of my three strokes. So I have to memorize everything I have to say. Oh, this is hard. Okay, so let me get started. I will come in first on the stage and I'll say, hello, how are you? I'm Ronique Ray, like I just did, introduce myself. Or I have somebody to introduce me. Either way, I will still introduce myself formally. Then secondly, I will go into what I'm talking about. And what I will be talking about is drug addiction. So I will be speaking at a rehab facility. So what else to better than to speak on a subject that you know for facts. But even though you have those facts of what you went through in your life and your drug addiction, you still need numbers, you need research to back those facts up that you will be presenting to your audience. So I did a little research on Google and some research on not TikTok, well, I say TikTok, but on YouTube because I had some nervousness. So I looked up why would be a reason a keynote speaker would be nervous. Well, that's when I found out the nervousness will come from lack of preparation. I'm unprepared. Now, why am I unprepared? Because I do not know numbers. I do not know certain things. So that's when I prepare myself to say what I have to say next. As I come out, and then I will say my name, and then next so I'll say, how many people know how, then I have to figure out what I'm going to say next. But how am I going to say what I have to say next? Introduce my keynote. Well, what am I going to say? Well, I had it figured out like I would do if I was on stage right now. I will freeze myself because I prepared for this out loud, verbally, but I did mentally prepare for it. So now you have to mentally prepare yourself. Okay. Mentally. A raise of hands, let's say, Now you do audience participation. That's what I will have to do. Prepare to get my audience to participate because I forgot something. Okay? So now, in order to remember what I had to say, now I just bring in my audience, prepare like that. So then I would say, with a show of hands, how many people knows the population of the world? Well, the population of the world, you give them a moment to answer. Anybody might have the answer. Somebody may have the answer. So, with show of hands, do you know? Do you know? You give them audience participation. Then, if nobody knows, then that's when you say, well, the population of the world is 7.99 billion. That's a large number. Okay? Now, who knows the population of people that died from drug addiction? Then you will go into that's how you will introduce your keynote. So, with that being said, my next step is to now elaborate on my keynote, and that is drug addiction. How many people knows how many people knows how many of the population died from drug addiction? That's when I speak my numbers. My numbers are 11.8 billion, 11.8 million people out of 7.8, 7.99. You're watching me rehearse my speech. So this is part of your audience. You are a part of my audience at the moment because I'm just learning this information and I'm teaching myself to remember these things. So I'm going back to where I was at. 11.8 million people died from drug addiction. Drug addiction, cigarette smoke, and alcohol with other illicit drugs. Now I put that in there because that's the information that I received when I Google the information that I look for. Now, I'm not going to speak on cigarettes because I smoke cigarettes. I'm just going to be truthful with you. So, but I'm going to let my audience know as well. I'm not here to preach on cigarettes. I'm not here to preach on anything. I'm here to teach something. And I'm trying to teach you the numbers of deaths that comes with drug addiction. Now, the next thing you will do, not audience participation, again, will be you ask them a question. My question is, do you want to become one of those numbers? Well, I was one of those numbers. And then that's when you go into more detail and more depth of what you're going to be speaking on. Now you got the audience attention with numbers and everything like that. With that being said, that was just a little piece of what is next. And with that being said, love, 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 and love alike. And subscribe to my channel. Thank you.